What's up guys, I'm Magician Justin Flom here in Las Vegas with my main man Casey, and he's the only one I trust to touch his hair, and he's going to do some men's styling tips on me and a couple other people, and when we're finished, I'll show you some magic. Ready? Head on.
We're going to be doing a sweet undercut. In my shop, I like to use the Andis Masters. I like to use these small fading combs, and for my larger size clipper, I like to use the Oster Titans. And these wall definitions are the best edgers on the market. So Justin likes to have a pretty tight fade on the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my clipper all the way extended to the 1. And when you're going up on the skull, you're just going to let the clipper just roll out by itself. You don't want to force that clipper into the head or you're going to get a really funky line. Once you get that fade where you want it to be, take your blending comb and you're just gonna bring this across. You want to make sure that you're holding this comb nice and stiff so you get an even blend line. Now with any of this excess, I'm just gonna run back over it, and that's how you create that really nice blend. Now I'm gonna drop a notch here to give him that low 0 that he likes, and then take it all the way to the 000. Now on this undercut, he likes to have more of a blend here in the back. So we're not going to create the fade too high, we're going to do more of a low taper on the back side. So it's very important that you let this clipper roll out before you get too high. I'm not forcing this clipper at all, I'm just letting it do the work for me. And again, these are the Andis Masters. You must have these clippers. Now I'm going down to that 000. Guys like to have really clean necklines. Super, super important. Now I just dropped my clipper down to the 000 to create this really, really fine blend and through the back. You want to be very careful not to go too high up because we don't want to mess up our weight line. So guys like to feel clean. So the most important thing is that you run the edgers through the front hairline, bring it around, create this really nice sharp point, and of course clean up the sideburn and around the ears. Now when I take the fade down to a 000, I normally like to run the edger down on the really low and just create that really, really clean low fade. Coming around the back side, creating really, really sharp lines. This is what really makes the haircut, is the edging. Now I'll usually hold my edger up like this to create that line, and then I'll run through under to clean up those little buzzes underneath. Creating that really, really sharp line here in the front. Chicks don't like bushy eyebrows. Now, the most important part, a lot of people don't do this, but I do it for my clients. I think it's extremely important. I like to use these feather nape razors. Now when you're using a razor, you want to hold it basically flat to the skull. And you want to be gentle with it. You don't need to push in and get crazy. And this just gives your clients that really, really clean finish. Gives them that extra week too. This will keep your clients coming back to you just for doing this part right here. And there you go. Now you end up with a really nice, clean fade. All right, now we're gonna move on to the top. So I always do hair in 2 separate parts. I start with the sides, I get everything cleaned up, I get the lines, I get the razor done, and then that way I can focus on just the top. You wanna have a good pair of texturizing scissors. These are called the Predators here. I love these. These are very fine-tuning finishing scissors, so they're very non-aggressive. These are the Whips. So these have a nice curve to them, so you can get round graduation and curved layers fairly easy. And then a 7-inch blade. Very important to keep your scissors clean as well. I usually use a piece of wool to wipe them down. That way you get all that product off of there. So Justin's trying to grow his hair out longer on top. So we're really not going to do a whole lot. We're just going to take off just those very ends. Pulling these vertical diagonal sections out and just barely cleaning them up. Now we're going to go into the actual styling of the hair. This is actually the most important part of the haircut. So we're going to use a little bit of a mousse just to give his hair some volume while we're blow drying. The blow dryer creates a style that you can only have with the blow dryer. So the most important thing with the blow dryer is the angles of the blow dryer. So in the front we're going to be angling upwards, so that way we create that lift. And through here, if you blow down this way, the hair is just going to lay flat. So we definitely want to keep that hair going up, and then on the side we want this to lay over. So we're going to have it this way. So those are the only two angles I'm going to use today. So I'm getting this hair in this brush, I'm getting it nice and hot, and then I'm letting it cool down. When you get the hair hot, it relaxes the hair, it changes the texture of the hair, and when it cools down, that's what sets it and locks it in. So it's very important to know you're hot and cool. There's a lot of good things about wet cutting, and there's also a lot of good things about dry cutting. So I try to utilize both of them in all of my haircuts, because there's certain control that you get over the hair when it's dry that you can't get when it's wet. So this side gets a little heavy on Justin. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my Predators, I'm going to come through and I'm just going to release some of this weight. The nice thing about this scissor is it's very non-aggressive, so you can be a little more free with it than your typical texturizing scissors. And do a little back cutting. And now you can see how nicely this section is laying over. This is one of my favorite products that I developed. It's called Sin City Grease. It's a petroleum-based pomade, so it's a little different than most of your products that you're going to use. This is a product that you put in and it hangs out with you for a couple of days. So I'm just taking a little bit, putting it in the center of my hand, spreading it out, and you're going to just gently apply this product to the hair. If you don't, it can become overwhelming and it will make your hair a little bit greasy. The beautiful thing about it, once you learn how to use it right, is it gives your hair that nice wet look and a very nice hold without any feel to the hair. So it's like a weightless pomade, basically. Now I'm just gonna comb the product through the hair. Now there's a lot of different styles that you can get from this undercut. You could go straight back with it and slick it. You could do more of a comb over. But today I want to do more of like a side pompadour 40s kind of look. It's windy out here in Las Vegas. Gotta have air spray.
What I want you to do, I want you to look through those cards, find one that you like. Slowly floating away from you.
Oh my god.
One card out of the deck. I want you to see the box.
Thank you so much.
I love it.
So this is Jose, one of my really good clients. He's been in here every 2 weeks. I'm gonna show you how I cut his hair. He likes to get that really clean, short fade. So with him, I'm gonna start right here in the back with the one. And bring that all the way up. Rolling around to the side, bringing that one up. Letting that clipper roll out. That is the most important part. You cannot dig that clipper into that head because then you're never gonna be able to get the blend out of it. And bringing the 000 out. Getting that really clean sharp low. Now this would be considered like a standard fade. If someone came in and said, I want that nice low fade, this is what it would look like. Still taking that one, bringing it up. It's really important that you keep your clippers lubed up if you want them to last for you. And I'm gonna have Rhett spray my clippers for me. And this one is the, what is that one? That's the Oster Cool Lube. So it cools them down and lubes them up. Perfect. Now when I blend on the sides, sometimes I'll use the 1 and sometimes I'll use the 000. It just depends on how thick the hair. So with thicker hair, I'll use more of the 000. With finer hair, I'll kick it to the 1. Now you notice when I'm cleaning up this side, you see how my clipper is rolling off of the skull naturally, because I'm not forcing it into the head like this. Very, very important. Always blend the beard in as well. So just kick it down to a little bit of a notch and just create that nice blend from the low to the beard. Just like in the last video, make sure you always start with the sides. Keep these nice and clean. This is very important. This will be the difference between your client coming back and not. A lot of people don't do that. So even if you just do that, they'll be like, oh, you did something different that my other stylist didn't do. That's what people want. These wall definitions, these are the only edges I've ever used. They're the only ones that give you that really clean, straight razor line. Now today we're focusing on men's grooming, but I want you guys to stay tuned because we're going to be doing a lot of other stuff. We're going to be doing colors. We're going to be doing women's cuts, different kinds of cool patterns and color techniques. I started off with just the men's clientele because the salon I was working at, none of the girls wanted to do them. And now I have 70% women just from having guys, because they have sisters, they have girlfriends, their moms, or their family. So instead of shying away from that men's cut, do it. Mess one up, learn how to do it, keep practicing. Then taking that feather razor, a nice clean blade. Always want to use a clean blade, so important. So this is a good blow drying technique if you don't want to bust out a comb and get all fancy. You're just gonna pull on the hair. You're gonna heat it up, you're gonna let it cool down, you're gonna release it. This is gonna create a more natural blow dry instead of a very clean, finished kind of a blow dry. Remember the angles of the blow dryer. I'm staying down here, I'm staying low, trying to create the hair to go up and back. I'm coming around on the side. I want this to lay flat. Don't ever come up here and blow dry like that. I'm gonna take my world famous Sensei grease. One of the best products on the market right here, guys. And we're just going to gently put this product into the hair. Once you feel like you have a pretty even spread, then you can start to smash it into the hair. Now what you get is this really shiny, kind of gelled looking hair, but when you feel it, it feels like you have nothing in the hair. I created this because you know your girlfriend doesn't want to touch some crunchy hair. She wants to be able to rub her hands through your hair. And of course, you don't want your girl messing up your hairstyle, so it's not going to mess up your hairstyle when she does that. So it's the best of both worlds here. All right, give it up for Jose.
Appreciate it, man. Looks good as always.